Aquarius, welcome to your full moon in Pisces reading for August 31st, 2023. Full moons are full moons close out cycles. The energy or the theme or the direction this reading is going has something to do with planning and action, right? So this is going to be your energy for the next 2 weeks, possibly. The frequency of 2 is duality and choice, weighing options, that kind of energy, and we are dealing with your energetic responses, planning and action, and so that's the direction of the reading. But for you, your personal theme is the Judgment card, which gives you a yes answer, not me, but you, and it says freedom, rebirth, fresh start, renewal, life purpose. Judgment card, I think, is a really important card. It's like the clarion call. We kind of know where we belong after we've experienced this card. It can be epiphanies. It's the things that awaken us, the things that we hear that kind of change our tune a little bit. It is judgment. But it's a sort of a rebirth, a reawakening, if you will. And it's a major arcana, so these are things that are going on within. And we can kind of know where we belong in the universe or in our world or within our family unit or, that kind of thing. But there's these epiphanies, this reawakening of like, okay, now I know who I am or what I'm really made of, or that kind of energy. Okay, nice. It is the card right before the world, right before the big graduation, right before you're ready to move on to a new cycle. It's that discovery. Okay, all right, so what's being closed out for you? You have the King of Swords. This is my Libra card. This is person who is master of their mental world. They make decisions with facts and figures, very reasonable type of people, and rarely bring their heart into, or sentiment rather, into their decision making. This can be law and legalities, it can be the military, it can be police. It's that kind of regimented energy. You have the Five of Swords with that. So there could have been some problems with a King of Swords, or they could have experienced problems. This is dramas being played out, and it is the impact of your words is really important, or this person's words, whoever we're dealing with here. Now, this is Aquarius, so it could be your energy because it's air. It doesn't have to be. Having said that, the Five of Swords is something that has been hard won. It wasn't easy. You may get what you want, but it was probably not the way you wanted it. And people can be really affected by the impact of what just happened. It can be a humiliation of some sort. It's my particular least favorite card in the deck next to the Hierophant, but this I think is, well, maybe not, but it's a difficult card. Okay, Three of Wands. Okay, so these are allies. These are looking out into the larger world for people and situations that can help you to move in new directions. This is really my allies card, but this can be anything. I mean, it can be workshops, it can be courses, it can be self-help books, but it can also be people who can further you, people that either can give you information, or you can look towards and see how they've done it, and then you can go ahead and do that yourself. And remember, we're planning and taking action, right? So this is the action that we're taking at this time. Okay, Nine of Swords. You could be having some sleepless nights. You can be overthinking, which would be very much an Aquarius trait. This is a thought that can take on a life of its own and really cause you some sort of worry or consternation. This card tells me that you're under a blanket of stars, meaning that the planets are at play here. And once the planets move on, more than one. Mind you, there are 6 of them this month that will be in retrograde, Mercury being one of them, and Mercury is your ruling planet. So, words and the things that we say, communication, can be misconstrued, they can be misinterpreted. You may say something and then regret it, or somebody else may have said something and then they regret it, but this looks like somebody that you may have trusted kind of did something or said something that was hurtful. And you're worried about it, or you're thinking about it, you're overthinking it. Yeah, the Five of Cups. Wow. This is emotional instability. It is kind of, and this is kind of what I mean, like, yes, there are 3 cups that have fallen, but there are still 2 that remain upright. There's still that possibility of fulfillment. All is not lost. That's what I want to say here. All is not lost. And yes, you can grieve and worry about it or overthink it, but the Five of Cups is asking you not to linger too long in this process of grief, because there are some things that are still good here and things that are still standing that you can use to your advantage. 5, again, so you have 2 5s, right, is instability that pushes us to find balance. Nobody wants to stay in that uncomfortable energy for too long. Nice. You have the Ace of Swords here. So thinking gets clear. Eventually you pivot. Eventually you turn to those 2 standing cups and you take up your sword and you begin to take new action, right? And you do it with clarity. This is the Triumph and Security card. It's Excalibur, and only the true and the truth can wield the sword. So this is triumphant energy. It is also the beginning of an action that we take. And, the energy of air is challenging, and that's because those are our thoughts, right? And what trips us up more than our own thinking. But this card brings in clarity. It is the beginning of a new action that you're going to take and a new way of thinking. Seven of Wands, okay. Yeah, this is the energy of defending yourself, defending your situation, defending someone you love. It may have come out of nowhere because, as you can tell, the 2 different shoes he has on, he had to run out of the hut pretty quick to defend his honor, his rights, his family, his home, whatever it is. And so this card indicates that if you keep your energy on a higher perspective, then chances are you win out on the competition. And this is very competitive energy and almost, it's even mean-spirited. You can use logic and reason, however. Aquarius is good with that. They are the fierce protective mothers, I think. Male or female. All right. The World card. Yeah. Okay, so interestingly enough, the Three of Wands is looking out into the larger world to see what's going on, how other people do things, where can I get some information, where can I get allies. And the World card is sort of like a graduation card. It's a level up. And remember, I said we were here with Judgment, and the next step is the World, right? The Magician card has one wand that he holds. When you get to the World card, you've completed a major cycle, and you're ready and prepared to move on to this next cycle. You're more in balance now. You can see and experience both sides of a situation, which is I think is pretty important. There may be a few small things you have to do before you move on to this new phase, but you're sort of in a protective spiritual box while you're doing that. This may not be the time to act. You can have clarity, but and you want to. The plans are that you want to act, but you may have to wait because things are not quite right in your favor. If you feel like your hands are tied, if you feel like you can't affect a solution, this card mentions that you're putting too much energy behind the struggle, and struggling will only get you deeper entrenched in the mire, in the mud. And so this card advises you to wait until things turn in your favor to act. If you want to act now, by all means, go ahead. But it is Mercury in retrograde. Things could get very misconstrued. Things can break, snag, fall apart, or communications, I think, will just be really messy. Travels, and the world can be travel, so travel can be complicated. If you're purchasing large items, you may have to take them back. I don't see purchasing power here, but we are planning an action. So really be solid about how you're going to act in a situation before you do it. Okay, what does Spirit want you to know? Well, you have another seven, another seven. So you have two sevens here. It's a very unique energy. You have the Seven of Pentacles. This is perseverance. This can be editing, right? On the negative side, this card mentions that it is aimlessness. So just wandering around aimlessly. I think you might for a little while with that Nine of Swords, but we have an idea of where we're going, and certainly by the end of the 2 weeks you have a very clear idea of what's going on. But the Seven of Pentacles gives you the editing kind of energy. It's waiting for your fruits to ripen, and in the meantime, how do you wait? So you can be thinking, okay, my next move is going to be this, this, and this, or if I put this in place, how will that react? Sorry about that. That was the wind. And it can be very much an editing kind of energy. There's perseverance and diligence here. All right. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. It seems pretty short, but it's very concise, I think. Even if it's on a general level, I think there's a red thread here. Thank you for listening. I hope it's been helpful. I'll return in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Take good care. Talk to you soon.